Hello, Steve Conley here. It's about belief. This video is a story about manifestation, and I think it could be the most important video you may have ever seen. Now, I'm not taking any credit. I'm just relaying information as I have witnessed it. So I would encourage you to listen to this entire video because there's critical information at the end of it, and actually all throughout. And I'm going to be talking about a story of manifestation, which will illustrate different things. It'll illustrate technique or no technique. It'll illustrate the precision of the universe to deliver the things that are requested. It'll also um, illustrate contrasts and how you can change it and how fast it can happen and perhaps how slow and whether or not you're aware of it and how to incorporate all these things into your own belief systems that will help you get a better life. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's what we all want, right? Now, I'm going to ask you to take a minute and subscribe, like this video. I know it's too soon, but just do it. Maybe you've seen one of my other 600 videos that I have out there, and just like it. It helps a lot. I've only done that about 3 times. When I say that, I mean, I've only asked people to subscribe and like videos 3, maybe 4 times out of the 600 that I have put out there. And so now I'm saying, hey, if you don't mind, I'd appreciate it. Now, let's talk about this story here. So I was a few years back working with some energy people, and we were teaching people how to move energy up the spine and into the brain to awaken some prefrontal cortex activity and some other stuff. Very powerful things. Now, along that lines, I guess I mean, I don't know if I specifically was thinking, okay, I want to take this particular energy thing up to travel. And but here's what I asked for. Here's the quote unquote manifestation technique and what I was specifically asking for. And then I want to talk about what showed up and how it showed up and my awareness of it or non-awareness, if you will. So here's what I did. I said, I'd like to travel around some to maybe a different state once a month. I didn't want to get into a big, heavy travel schedule. Maybe do a little work, have some fun, have some dining experiences, chill out, and then, do that once a month. So I threw that out there to the universe. I didn't do a technique. I just said, this is what I'd like, it'd be fun. And I created a little visual, if you will, an imagination of how that might look, and threw it out there and boom. Didn't really think about it anymore. That was the entire technique or non-technique. I like the idea of not needing or having to do or think about using a technique or needing a technique. We don't need a technique, is what I'm trying to say. We just need to send the request out and not get in the way of it. So I sent that out and I just forgot about it. Well, I don't know, a couple, 2 or 3 months later, went by, and I'm sitting in a cheap hotel room I'm sharing this hotel room with two other people, and we're on monthly trips to take this energy technique to different cities, and we're doing expos. And all of a sudden, hit me. I said, oh my God, I got my request. I didn't even know it. We'd already been, this was our third city. This was the third month. And I said, oh my gosh, I, I got my wish just like that. And then of course, I looked around and I said, wait a minute. This is exactly what I asked for, almost. But it's not what I intended or wanted. We were staying in cheap hotels. That was a Super 8 that I was in, I guess, something like that. We were doing cheap Motel 6s, Super 8s, that kind of thing. And we were in a Toyota Corolla, jammed in, three of us with a bunch of equipment. So I said, wait a minute, okay, exactly what I asked for, not what I wanted. So I said, you know what I'd like to have is a much nicer hotel, something with some amenities, a lot newer than these crappy hotels, and perhaps a, different method of travel, like flying, that'd be nice. And so we could fly to these places and, whatever. And I did the same thing. I threw that out. Now, here's what happened. Now, as far as the travel, there wasn't, at least in my mind, anything that we could do about the travel on this particular trip because, we had the car and so forth. But the I don't know if it was that night. No, I don't think it was that night. It was the very next night we were in a brand new Embassy Suites hotel, not far from this one, in Raleigh. It had an indoor pool, a gym. What they do downstairs is serve you breakfast. You've got, the breakfast cook. You're not in line, at the counter getting a muffin and a wrapper. And like, I don't even know if we got breakfast with this Super 8. I can't remember. But you get the idea. It was totally different. Totally. And what was the technique that I used for that? The same technique, quote unquote technique, no technique, that I used when I said I wanted to travel. I just said, hey, great contrast, not what I know it's what I asked for. I accepted that. I acknowledged that. I was in appreciation of where I was at the moment, right? But I said, wait a minute, let's do things different. Let's create something new. Bam. And the very next night at Embassy Suites, brand new, 6 months old. Okay, close enough, right? And working a little less and things were just different. Everything was different. And now here's what happened right after that. The very next trip was similar accommodations, and guess what the travel method was? Yes, you got it. We were all flying. Now here's a distinction that you need to understand. Very important distinction. I want to kind of look back at that, and I want to look forward at what happened there. So looking back, no technique, bam, shot it out there, no resistance to it whatsoever, got it, notice the contrast, change the contrast right there. Did I do anything? The question is, did I do anything to make these trips happen? Did I do anything to change hotels, to get the flights, to do the other things, to get the other? I didn't do anything. Well, I did do something. I imagined it and I asked for it. Did I pick up the phone? Did I get my credit card out? Did I pay for anything? No. What? I didn't do anything except imagine what I wanted, ask for it. I got the heck out of the way, and I noticed the contrast as it came in. I changed those ideas. I got the heck out of the way and let the universe orchestrate the how, the when, the what. I did the why. I did the what I wanted. The universe did the how it was going to happen and the what was going to happen and the when. I understood my role in this, and then I just acknowledged it and watched what happened and enjoyed the ride. So you see why I said it's very important that you stick around to the end of this video. If you made it this far, great. Like this and subscribe it. I think you should, because you can use this non-technique to help better understand your relationship with Source, with the all that is, with the power that you are, the maybe misunderstood power that you have access to. It's way more than access, but from our perspective, it looks like you have access to it. It's not that you have access to it. It's that you are that power. You are the manifestation. You are the universe. And so from here, way down here on this vibrational level, it looks like we're apart, but we're not. We're part and parcel to the all that is. And when we ask for it, we're just asking ourselves. And so we already know what it is we want, but the universe is restricted to, what we're asking for, because we have free will, and we need to understand the parameters around the free will, which is we can have or do or be anything, but we're the ones who dictate that. And the universe, because of adherence to our free will only deliver to us what we ask for. So I sincerely hope this has been a big help, and help me like and subscribe. And I love you all. I love everything. I love this contrast. I love this time we're in where we have this ability to create videos on the fly, if you will, and understand and share and co-create. It is a blast, and I do appreciate any and all comments that you may have. Thank you.